Hello and welcome to this week's episode of The Language of Leadership. I'm your host, Chuck Marting. This week is a very special episode that I'm doing with you. It might be a little bit short, I don't know. And we'll see how the episode goes as we go along with it. But it's a very important episode. And I think so, probably more so for myself than it will be for others. But I'm hoping that it's going to resonate with a lot of you and it's going to help you with some things that you may be dealing with as a leader or things that you've kind of contemplated. And sometimes we have to sit back and we have to recharge ourselves. We have to take that opportunity to recommit and to reinvent some of the things that we're doing. And we have to review, we have to look back at things that worked, what didn't work. And I've had a lot of things that I've looked at in this last week. There have been some things that have taken place that have been disappointing, and some that I've had to learn. It just comes with the territory of being a leader, not necessarily something that um, I did wrong or that I chose to do. But you have to take a look at everything and say to yourself, how do I avoid having something like this happen again? What are the best steps that I can take? And how do I recommit to doing the things that I know are going to make me a better person, a better leader, and to be able to be a better business for my clients to be able to help them in achieving the things that they're wanting to do. So that's what this episode is on, is recommitment, and to be able to stick to those things that you've committed to yourself more than anything else. The commitment that you made for yourself in achieving the things that you're wanting to achieve. One of the best episodes that we've had on the language of leadership, that we had a bunch of individuals reach out and say how much it changed their life, how much it meant to them, and how much they gained in doing this, was in episode 41 of The Language of Leadership. And that was where we talked about the 30-day transformational challenge that we did based on Earl Nightingale's The Strangest Secret. And I got to tell you, it was awesome to do that. And it really opened doors for not only myself, but for other people in their leadership journey. And it also helped me in understanding that I was wanting to do a lot more than what I was doing. I wanted to go ahead and do this book. And I'm still working on this book. It's been a challenge with everything else that I'm doing. But when you decide to do something, it's like I've talked about before here on the language of leadership, you find the time to make it happen. So I'm plugging away and I'm committed to that, and so that work is going on, and I'll give you updates as we go along with it. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the 30-day challenge that we did on that, because it led to something else, which was Wallace D. Wattles, his book, The Science of Getting Rich, because it was one of the books that Earl Nightingale talked about. And there's a lot of people that credit that book to not only changing how they viewed their leadership journey, but it changed their life both personally and professionally. And I can tell you that it has done the same with me. And I carry that book with me everywhere, every single day. I read it constantly. And you can find PDFs on the internet that you can download the book for free, because it's in the domain right now, so that you're able to do that. I, though, went on Amazon and I ordered a replica copy of the original book, the original language, everything, because I wanted to read the original book. And I got to tell you, it's been great. And I have that book. I have it right here. The green screen's not gonna. There we go. Science Getting Rich. That's what it looks like on Amazon. I'll see if I can't find the link to it if you're interested in it. It's a very short read, but it's very impactful, and very meaningful. And I would highly suggest, if you're looking to commit, or even like I am and recommitting, this is a great book to give you motivation, encouragement, and to get you going forward again and getting back on track. The other thing that I'm doing right now, that's meant a lot to me, is reading Andy Frisella's book on mental toughness. And I don't often share quotes like this, but it made an impact on me, and I had to write it down. And I want to share this with you. And what it says is, it's a quote from Andy, and where he says, "When you're mentally tough, you can see right through the bullshit." And that's a direct quote from him. And I had to sit back and kind of smile and think about that, because he's absolutely right. He's brutally right. When you are in that position, you're able to read people, you're able to look at things that they're seeing, and when they're talking to you, you're able to distinguish when something is truthful and right, and when they're trying to play a game, or they're trying to avoid what the issue is or what the topic of discussion is at that point. Sometimes you have people that are trying too hard to be on your great good side, and you can read right through that as a leader too. But we also have to take people and love them for where they're at that point in time. They haven't been taught anything different. It's the role models that they've had, people that have taught them that this is how you do things. And so then it's up to us as a leader to correct that type of behavior, and to help them in understanding and realizing um, what that does to them. And that's what I really liked about the book on mental toughness with Andy Frisella. I have had to read it now. I'm going through my third time reading it, and I'm having to recommit to some of the things there that I wanted to do that I haven't followed through with. And so, it's one of those things where you can kind of beat yourself up because you do this. I put this podcast together for you to help you. And so, yeah, there are times that me, myself, I struggle too. And I have to live the things that I'm teaching you. And so that's why I felt it was more important for me to do an episode this week with you on recommitment, to let you know that even myself, man, I am not perfect. The only water that I walk on is frozen. So I have a long way to go as well. But I can tell you, I've got the tools, and I've got great leaders and examples and people that are there that I can call on, that can snap me right back into reality and help me get right back to where I'm at. So I gotta put a shout out to my boys with Iron Sharpens Iron, the late night visionaries. Those are guys that I've made a commitment to, that I've been with for the last going on 3 years now. And there's some incredible men in there. When you have a mastermind, or you have people that you're coaching, and you go throughout your day, and as you're going throughout your day, you end up getting text messages from these guys checking in on you, seeing where you're at, reminding you of your commitments, reminding you of what you're wanting to do, and encouraging you. I can tell you, it's the best thing in the world for you as a leader to be able to have those type of resources. So I know that we're going to probably relink to the episode on the Earl Nightingale 30-day challenge that we did. It's hard for me to really talk about it because it meant so much to me in doing that, and the incredible feedback that we got back. So if you haven't listened to that episode, please do. We ended up doing the 30-day challenge in video form also, that's on the YouTube channel. So you can go back and you can relive this day by day if you're wanting to recommit and do something like that. Or if you haven't done that, to go and take part of that program, because it's incredible. It will change the way you view things, the commitment you have to your leadership, and also the commitment you have for your personal life. One of the things that we talked about in that 30-day challenge is that you carry a card with you, an index card that reminds you of what it is that you're wanting to do, the one thing that you're committing to, the one thing that you're wanting to be able to realize in that 30 days. What is the challenge that you're going to be doing? And what is it that you're wanting to accomplish in that 30 days with the 30-day Strangest Secret challenge? I still have my card. I carry it with me every day, and I have since that episode. So I'm going to ask you, if you haven't already, when you've listened to that episode, to make your commitment to your card that you have with you. I still have guys that have gone through this program that I see at church that will come up to me and say, "You have your card with you?" I pull it out. It's right there. So remember that on one side of it, you have the verse from Matthew chapter 7, verses 7 and 8 that Earl Nightingale talks about. And if you've forgotten about what that is, that verse says this, or those two verses say this: ask and it shall be given you. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and it shall be opened unto you. For everyone that asketh receiveth, and he that seeketh findeth, and to him that knocketh it shall be opened. And then on the other side of that card, you have what it is that you're wanting to do, your I am statement. For me, it is that I am a highly sought after speaker and author. So that was the challenge that I have for my 30-day challenge that I'm wanting to do now, that I am committing and showing you guys with my card. The other thing that has helped me also is the Strangest Secret. There's creed statements that are in there. And this is the one thing that Earl Nightingale talks about. And this is from The Science of Getting Rich. Earl Nightingale talks about it. Bob Proctor is huge on this. And it helps to carry this card with you as well. So I want to read that to you really quick to give you a sense of what that's all about. And that card says, "There is a thinking stuff from which all things are made, and which, in its original state, permeates, penetrates, and fills the inner spaces of the universe. A thought in this substance produces the thing that is imagined by thought. You can form things in your thoughts, and by impressing thought upon formless substance, can cause the thing you think about to be created." That is powerful. And that is why I carry this card with me as well. So when I have those moments when I feel like I'm hitting the wall, I take this out and I read it. Any chance I get, I'll take this out and read it, because it's helping me to recommit, to be able to understand and remember why I am doing the things that I am doing and what it is that I want to achieve. So I hope that helps you a little bit more. Visionary leaders, the path to your greatness begins here. Introducing the Alliance Mastermind Group, a sanctuary designed to amplify your leadership potential and turn your dreams into achievements. Inspired by the mastermind philosophy of Napoleon Hill, imagine a dynamic circle of tenacious minds, all committed to helping you reach your goals. In the Alliance Mastermind Group, leadership isn't just a title. It's an active journey towards the realization of your vision. You know, throughout history, mastermind groups have propelled leaders to new heights. Now, we're extending an invitation for you to experience this transformational power. At the Alliance Mastermind Group, leadership isn't just a concept. It's a dedication to each member's success. Our unique approach includes expert training sessions tailored to amplify your leadership skills. Now, this isn't just a group. It's like having your own executive board invested in your progress and your success. Imagine having a team where every member is genuinely interested in seeing your achievements and your goals reached. Or are you ready to take the first step? Apply now using the link in the description of this video and secure your place among the 10 leaders destined to be extraordinary in their success. The Alliance Mastermind Group, where leadership dreams take flight. Your vision, our commitment. Apply now. We've talked about vision boards, and I have my vision board right here. And I showed you a picture of that earlier in another episode. And if you haven't seen that on the YouTube channel, on the video on that episode, it's there as well, and you can see it. But there are certain things that we do that are just a daily reminder of what it is that we're committing to and what we're trying to achieve. Now, can you have things on your vision board like, I'm going to be a millionaire? Heck yeah. Put that on there. Put anything that you want on there. It's your vision. It's your dream. It's what you're wanting to achieve. And it should motivate you. It should give you hope. And it should guide you in remembering why you're doing the things you're doing. I think it's really a sad state when you have people that they don't know where they're going. And you're going to run into that with as leaders as you're dealing with people on your team. And nobody's ever taught them. And it's up to us to do that. Now, sometimes you're going to commit to doing that with people, and you're going to think that you're going to have a vested interest in them because you're wanting to help them, wanting to mentor them. Understand that there's going to be people that have a different idea of what that looks like for them. And they could disappoint you. They could decide to leave. They can do whatever they choose to do. That's on them. Okay. But the one thing, the commitment that I've made to everybody that ever comes to work for me on my team is that I want to help them be a better person than what they were when they walked through the door. That is my responsibility as their leader, is to help them in achieving and seeing the things that they're wanting to do. It's not me having to agree with it because it's their dream and what they're wanting to do. And I try to do what I can. And so does my wife in our businesses to help not only be able to recognize that and acknowledge that for each person on our team, but then try and figure out ways that we can help them in doing that. And that's when you have team meetings, you do things, and we encourage them to share this with other team members so that we can all help each other. It's the whole point in this. Email Coué has a statement, and you just saw me look up on because I'm looking at it because it's right here. I have it on my wall, I have it on my mirror, and I have it in my truck when I'm driving to glance down and look at. And he has a quote that if you do meditation or you're doing affirmations even, this is the one thing that Emile Coué, he was a French pharmacist that was really big into manifestation and in accomplishing and achieving and living your dreams. And this was the statement that he made that you may have heard before, but at least now you know who said it and where it came from. And you can look it up on YouTube. There are several videos on this, and you can see who he is in a little bit more depth for it. But I have this written everywhere right now. And what it says is that every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. It's the first thing you say in the morning, first thing you say at night before you go to bed to help you regain and remember what it is that you're wanting to achieve. I will put that quote in our notes as well so that you're able to look that up. The other thing that I'm doing right now for recommitting and to get back on track to where I want to be is in the book that has made a big difference in a lot of people's lives. The book by Napoleon Hill, which is Think and Grow Rich. There's one impactful part of that book that if you remember about, it's when he talks about masterminds and his counsel that he had. And you find out that that counsel, that he had several people that he had in that council that he would meditate and have conversations with. Some of them were still alive, some of them had passed. There are stories of him saying that he's had these imaginary councils where he has met with men that were deceased, that gave him knowledge, understanding, and clarity, the things that he was doing. And that's the power of meditation and being able to affirm those things. Now, did he really talk to these people, or is this a figment of his imagination? I don't know. I don't know. But I can tell you from my own meditations that I've done that a lot of those meditations have been very real and very revealing. If you have not heard of Bert Goldman, he is the American monk. He has um, a meditation program that's out that's called quantum jumping that talks about this specific thing. And he talks about being able to meet yourself on different quantum realms in different time areas, um, and being able to say that there is your duplicate, your twin, or what he calls your doppelganger, in another time that you are able to meditate and be able to meet with and learn from and be able to take those things from. And it's pretty interesting. If you go on YouTube, you can see some of his accomplishments in doing this, and I'll let you do that. We may revisit that to go more in depth into an episode because it's just there's not enough time for me to really go dive deep into that in this episode. But we can do one just specifically about that because it's very impactful. And when you start learning some of the things that he has done, it's incredible. Um, all the way up until his 80s, becoming a master painter and doing, you know, paintings that people have offered to purchase for, hundreds, if not millions of dollars. This man did. Later in life, when he was never painted in his life, and then all of a sudden he's doing, basically Picassos and things like that. It's incredible, and it kind of makes you kind of listen to him a little bit more intently to figure out how this man has done this, and he's willingly sharing it. In fact, Mind Valley has a program that he did, that's specifically on quantum jumping and how to do it. So it's something that you're interested in. You can look that up with Burt Goldman, even go on YouTube and learn a little bit about more and what an incredible man he was, and very impactful. So those are the things that are kind of going on right now with me. And I just wanted to come back in here and to do an episode to help you realize that, we all have things that we have to deal with. We're all human. The main thing is not only knowing where to go to receive that counsel, that motivation, and that inspiration, but also being able to recommit, to be able to get back on track and to realize the things that worked and the things that you don't have to even pay attention to because they didn't work, and to be able to focus on those things to get back to the place that you want to be. So that is what I am doing right now and what I am achieving. And I hope that in this episode, it gives you some thought and some clarity. And by all means, please go back and listen to the 30-day challenge with Earl Nightingale and The Strangest Secret. What a powerful, powerful program. It may be something that we could even do another spin off from that if it's something that you are interested in and something that you want to relook at. Please let me know and we can look at that because it was by far one of the more fun things that we've done here on the Language of Leadership because it was so impactful for so many people. So I would love to do that again if there's an interest there, and it will help us all. I know that it was an incredible tool for a lot of people and a credible program. So the other thing is to look at the other resources that I talked about in this episode and see if any of them resonate with you and see how they help you. And if there's any way that I can help you, if you're kind of stuck in that spot and you really don't know where to go, please reach out and I will try and give you what resources I have and help you in any way that I can. But until next week, when we have another episode of the Language of Leadership, remember your well being and your ability to become a better leader is totally in front of you. You have choices to make. You have decisions that you need to make. You have commitments that you need to make to yourself. And that's what this podcast is about, is helping all of us to become the best leaders we can be. So until next week, take care.